Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Paradise DC podcast. And as you know, I'm your host, Muksit Abiola Muitala. Today, in this episode, we are diving into a reality that touches every young person in Nigeria and across the world, which is the hustle culture. We hear it every day. All those words, all those slangs, like no good for anybody, like security bag, like we must hustle. But, and you know what's funny? Is that hustle has become the anthem of our generation. But here is the question: is hustle really a blessing, or is it slowly becoming a burden we carry without knowing? Now, let's start with the good side. Hustling has built resilience in many young people. It pushes us to survive, to be ambitious, and to look for opportunities even in the toughest conditions. Think about it. Without the drive to hustle, many youth would have given up already. Hustle gives hope and it fuels ambition. In that sense, it can be considered a blessing. But there is also another side, one that we don't always talk about. You know, hustle, when not balanced, can lead to burnout. It can lead to greed and shortcuts. That is why you see many young people pushing themselves endlessly, but without direction. Some even fall into traps, whereby they engage in fraudulent activities, scams, or quick money schemes, all in the name of this hustle. We see people running from one hustle to another, without building skills, without resting, without even having time to reflect. In the end, you know what happened? They are exhausted, they are frustrated, and sometimes even broken. Now, let me give you an example. There was once a young man named Tude. Tude believed that hustling non-stop was the key to success. He worked day and night, always chasing one quick deal after another. And at first, it looked like he was doing well, but over time, the stress piled up. He had no time for family, he had no time for personal growth, and eventually, you know what happened? It collapsed. Not just physically, but financially too. And on the other hand, there was Ibrahim. Ibrahim also hustled, but with wisdom. Instead of chasing everything, he focused on one thing, built his skills, and most importantly, he used leverage. He leveraged technology, relationships, and knowledge. Instead of working harder alone, he worked smarter with support. Years later, Ibrahim was thriving while Tunde was still stuck in the endless cycle of hustle without progress. The difference is very clear. One hustled with leverage and purpose, while the other hustled blindly. Now, the truth is this. As we all know, hustle is part of our life. Without it, survival is almost impossible. But hustle must be done with balance, wisdom, and leverage. Hustling without vision is like running in circles. You just keep moving, but you're not going anywhere. Hustling without leverage is like digging with your hands when you could have used the machine. We need to hustle smart, not just hard. We need to build skills, seek knowledge, create balance, and use leverage. Whether it is technology, collaboration, mentorship, or resources, that is the kind of hustle that builds lasting success. So, over to you, listeners. I'm directing my question to you now. Is hustle a blessing or a burden? The answer for that is very clear and simple. The answer is it depends on how you do it. Also with wisdom, leverage and purpose, and it will be a blessing. Whereas when you hustle blindly, and it will become a burden. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Paradise BC podcast, and I will always be your host, Abdulmuksit Abiola Muritala. And please don't forget to follow all our social handles, Abdulmuksit Abiola Muritala or Paradise BC What, on Facebook, X, TikTok, and YouTube for more episodes. Until next time, remember, don't just hustle smart with leverage.